Hey, everyone. Thanks for coming. So my name is Fernando. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Balancer. And I'm here today to talk about how and why to build on top of Balancer. So first, what is Balancer? Balancer is a protocol for programmable liquidity. A lot of people think that Balancer is just a flexible AMM. It's not. It's a lot more than that. It's a platform for AMMs to be built on top of. If there's one message I could get across to you guys today, it is this. If you're building a protocol or smart contracts that hold 2 or more tokens that at some point need to be swapped for one another, or you need to add tokens or remove tokens, you should definitely be considering to build on top of Balancer. Why? Because we have put a lot of effort into building all the parts around a successful AMM. For example, like you have to have connection to aggregators, right? If you just build your own AMM or your own solution for swapping in a programmable way tokens, aggregators are not going to see your liquidity. It's really hard to get 1inch, PairSwap, CalSwap, and 0x to look at your liquidity. So your liquidity will just be sitting there without any action. Another thing is the SDK. We have built a very comprehensive SDK that allows devs to get to interface with your liquidity. We also take care of all the low-level accounting of tokens and transfer of tokens in a very gas-optimized way. That's really hard, and we spend a lot of time there so that you don't need to. All you need to do is think about the logic of how the tokens are swapped. It can be an AMM, or it can be a treasury management solution. It can be lots of things. That's why I say Balancer is a platform for programmable liquidity, not just AMMs. And last but not least, we have a lot of network effects. So every project that builds on top of Balancer puts their tokens, their liquidity in the same vault. I'm going to show you in a more visual way. So that builds network effects. People using Balancer are using the liquidity of all the different projects building on top of it. So what is Balancer? It's really a two-sided market protocol. We have on the one side liquidity, right? LPs, they earn fees, they have their portfolios rebalanced, or they have any sort of programmable way for the tokens to be swapped, and that's all embedded in their logic. That could be smart contracts as well. And we have, on this side, we have traders. If you don't have traders interacting with the liquidity, you're not going to have your tokens being swapped, right? So you need aggregators to see your liquidity. And for that, we have a smart order router that sees always the best routes using all the liquidity available in Balancer. And of course, traders can be protocols, smart contracts, or end users. So those are the two sides of Balancer protocol. Like I said before, Balancer V1 was just like all the other AMMs, like Uniswap and Curve and etc. They were like pools that were their individual smart contracts. And we improved that with Balancer V2. Yep, that works. By having all the tokens being handled by the vault in a very efficient way. And then the logic of each of the pools of the different AMMs that are built on top of Balancer, that's another smart contract that only handles the logic of how the tokens are going to be swapped. So this is very efficient, and it really lets you focus on what really matters for your application, and Balancer does the rest. So let me go through some pool types that we have, and these are growing by the day. Those are kind of built by Balancer Labs' team in collaboration with other teams, and then I'm going to show you some third-party teams that build some cool pools as well. Weighted pools, stable pools, meta-stable pools, LBPs. Anyone here knows what an LBP is? Balancer folks, or not, don't count. Cool, yeah. So yeah, managed pools are coming soon. Weighted pools, so that's kind of the origins, the origin of Balancer, the idea of having a pool that instead of being just a 50-50 fixed fee pool like Uniswap, It can handle up to 8 tokens, and now soon we're going to have up to 20 tokens or more. Like, you have flexibility of being exposed to the assets you want, to the proportion, to the percentage you want, right? We have very popular 80-20 pools that allow you to be 80 to 80% exposed to the token you want to be long. So it reduces a lot impermanent loss. I don't know how many here know what permanent loss is, but that reduces a lot impermanent loss while still allowing you to have like volume to creating liquidity, to create liquidity. Those are kind of the bread and butter of Balancer. Stable pools based on curves, stable pools, hat tip to them. We implemented that logic as well with some improvements. And we can have very deep liquidity around price one for tokens that are like kind, like different types of Bitcoin, different types of ETH, or whatever you can think of. So all of that is built already, so you don't need to care. Like, you just can use those pool types. Boosted pools, those are very interesting. I'm very excited and proud of those. So while you have a lot of assets tokens sitting idle on Balancer's vault, in the vault, you can actually put most of those tokens to be kind of creating yield elsewhere. We use Aave, but there's other pools that use Yearn or Compound. But the idea is that most of the tokens are you're earning some yield, while a small buffer is there in the vault to allow for trades to happen, right? Because most of the assets that you have in an AMM are not used for the day-to-day swaps, right? So we created this very interesting idea to, while still enabling fast and cheap swaps, we have most of the tokens earning some yield elsewhere. Meta-stable pools, those are nothing but stable pools that adapt to a rate, a price that's changing. Who here knows what wrapped staked ETH is? Staked ETH. Wrapped staked ETH is the version of staked ETH that grows not in balance, but in value. So the rate between one's wrapped staked ETH and one staked ETH grows over time. And so the price is not going to be sticking to one. It grows. And we have like this like logic to account for that growth, while we still have most of the liquidity around the price that grows. LBPs, liquidity bootstrapping pools. So those have been very popular, are still popular. What they do is they allow projects to launch tokens on top of Balancer in a very friendly way, with a price discovery that allows anyone to, if they buy a token for a given price and then the price goes up, they can resell it. So it's not really like just an auction where if you buy it, you're done. While the LBP is live, you can trade back and forth. So this is only possible with Balancer, because how it works is weights start at 820, for example, or 98.2. And then over time, the weight of your protocol token goes down, which means it gets cheaper. And the weight of DAI or whatever you're selling it for goes up. So it goes down, the price goes down unless people start buying it. So as the price goes down, the price of the market is kind of found, and then like the price keeps stable or goes up. So it's really a very fair price discovery. Good thing here is that early bots get wrecked, because the price always starts very high, like 10 times higher than the team expects the token to be worth. So it's a very popular way of raising, launching your token. And the cool thing about Balancer is, again, other teams building cool protocols and products on top of us, not us directly. We don't have an interface for LBPs. Copper and other teams like PrimeDAO did that. Just so you know, like, how successful these are, we had almost 300 already, over 90,000 different people participating, or bots, or unique addresses. $2.4 billion in volume. Like, to me, it's really mind-blowing. Managed pools. So those are something we're very excited about, coming soon. Extreme flexibility. It's like LBPs, but you can like sell in one direction and then buy in the other direction. It's more or less the programmable liquidity idea that I just laid out. but we're kind of building most of the infrastructure you need. So you can kind of create a controller that controls a managed pool. Very excited about this. You can have more than like 2 tokens, so it's very useful for treasury management. You can add new tokens, you can remove tokens in a very kind of safe and automated way. So our SDK team has been tirelessly working on improving our SDK and the way people, devs can interact with Balancer. Balancer is complex. It's like by nature complex. So we're working on making it easier for other people to build on top of it. So that's also something you get off the shelf. If you build on top of Balancer, you're like part of our SDK. So it's easy for others to interact with your solution, your AMM, because they're already connected to our SDK. We have an SDK in JavaScript, and then BowPy for those who like Python to create pools, the SOR Smart Auto Router. So those are just for your reference. They're all on our GitHub account, Balancer Labs. Yeah, very simple. You just like instantiate it, you call it, you set your Infura environment, variable, and that's it. Very easy to use. The SDK allows you to do swaps. So very easy. You can say token in, token out. What is the best route? And then the SOR, which is embedded in the SDK, finds the best paths and gives you the best returns. Coming soon, you're going to be able to add liquidity, remove liquidity, do fetch pool data, see APYs, APRs, and a lot of stuff. So it's really work in progress, but getting to a very nice state already. Some other pool types that we're very proud about, other projects building on top of Balancer, which is, I like to say, the success of Balancer is the success of other teams building on top of us. We're just infrastructure. So yeah, there is fixed rate protocols like Element, Tempest, Sense. So they have a special invariant or AMM because the tokens over time, they tend to price 1. That's the idea behind fixed interest tokens. So you have like a optimized AMM for that. You have Gyroscope and other teams also building stable coins top of Balancer. So these guys are like Oxford PhDs, like big brains. They came up with elliptic liquidity pool, elliptical pool. Like it's something that's hard to understand, but it works. It's very interesting. They're soon going to launch, and they use Balancer for everything. We're also excited about TWAMs. TWAMs is a very nice idea by Paradigm. Anyone here knows what TWAMs are? Yeah, that's cool. So time-weighted average market makers. Basically, if you have a very large trade, you don't want to like do a trade of $100 million to ETH in one go with AMMs. You're going to have a very large price impact. So you can split that into 100 different trades. That costs a lot of gas, and also it's like a hassle. So you just say that I want to do a T1 for a month of $100 million for ETH. There are 2 teams actually that are building that on top of Balancer, close to launching. And there's a lot more. Managed pool simulator, generalized boosted pools, lots of teams building their own stablecoin liquidity with our stable pools, boosted pools as well. And we do want you to build on top of Balancer. We want to pay you. We know how valuable your time is. So you should apply for a grant. You should come talk to us. If you're not convinced by all the reasons I gave you to use Balancer instead of creating your own thing, please come to us and talk to our team. I'll hopefully convince you, or our team. There's grants, there's bounties, there's a lot of things we can help you out with. Thank you so much. And
thank you, Fernando. Do we have questions?
5 minutes for questions. I want to hear some questions. No? Oh, 2 minutes for questions.
Any questions out there? If you're brainstorming.
The parameters say it's going to last 5 days. The price is going to change from $10 to 10 cents if no one buys, and that's it. Then you withdraw the liquidity afterwards.
Amazing.
Yeah, very simple. I mean, the most popular things, the best things are the simplest ones. And that's our main challenge, to make things simple. And I think LVPs are very, very simple.
Well, if anybody has questions, I think Fernando will be available after this talk out there to chat with you. Thank you all. Thanks again, Fernando.
Thank you.